So you're thinking about moving to the south side of Jacksonville, Florida. Well, in today's video, I'm going to be sharing everything you need to know about the south side of Jacksonville, Florida. And so you can make the best decision. All right, let's jump right into it. So when it comes to Jacksonville, obviously the red dotted line outlines the entire city, which is humongous. We are literally the biggest city in America. But besides that, what I have found to be very interesting is Jacksonville can be viewed differently for a number of people, because if you really want to we can get so technical with this. So for example, when I say that, I mean we can divide the north by the waterway here from the south, or we can get hyper local with zip codes and just kind of dividing the area even further. So I just wanted to start off with that, because when you're like, oh, the north side could be grouped, when people talk that are locals here, it could be grouped in as just one area. It could be like Northwest Jacks, Northeast Jacks, South Jacks, or east of 295 on the south side. So it could just be a whole plethora of things and ways that you can identify an area. But what I like to do personally is identify areas by zip codes, because then that just really helps you laser in and focus on the zip code, because sometimes what you'll see here in Jacksonville is that the zip codes run into one another, or if you just go on this side of the road, now you're in this zip code, etc. So actually, let me pull up a map for you guys, just so we can put this really into perspective for Jacksonville. I think that would really help. So let's now start right here. Okay, so you can see the St. Johns River. We have the zip code map. We have multiple zip codes that could be considered South Jacksonville. But what's great is that this really helps us narrow down, if you were to want to move to an area or be in a certain zip code, this will really help, because 32256 is technically the south side of Jacksonville, but you could group all of this to be the south side minus the beaches, right? Because as soon as you come over this bridge, which is the Dames Point Bridge, you would technically be on the south part of Jacksonville. But what really some of these areas are called are Fort Caroline, Arlington, and then you have semi-south side, or east of 295, but that's why we use the zip code. So I just wanted to get super technical with you and for you, so that way you can have a better understanding while you're becoming or transitioning to being a local of Jacksonville. So 32256 is technically the correct zip code, and what really I feel is the biggest staple of 32256 Southside Jacksonville is the Southside Boulevard, because that really can take you all the way down to Phillips Highway, which is also another main road in Jacksonville. Phillips Highway really starts all the way back here in 3207, and there's a lot of industrial and commercial on this road and just businesses along this road, and then it runs into the Avenues Mall, and then it also connects into Southside Boulevard. So that would be the biggest identifier of 32256. In addition to that, the St. John's Town Center is also nearby or in this area, and you'll also have just a lot of housing. There's a lot of single family condos, primarily single family in the area, but you'll also of course have apartment complexes located in this area, especially along Southside Boulevard. You'll have a mix of, I would say, more single family and apartment complexes along the area. And then you'll also run into Tinseltown. And Tinseltown is literally right on the other side of the St. John's Town Center. However, it's more the area's own town center, if that makes sense. There is a movie theater there. There are some great other restaurants and shops that are also in the area that you could go to, but there's a lot of fine dining, quote unquote, that are in the area in the Tinseltown area, and then also across the street, but all located off of Southside Boulevard. So I hope that helps you put into perspective the area and what is truly considered South Jacksonville. All right, let's jump into the other part of this, which is the Google Maps. So that way we can get real technical on all those places that I mentioned. So some of the biggest identifiers are also going to be like JTB. This runs again east to west. This helps you get to Phillips Highway or get out towards the beach. That's the fastest way to get out towards the beach. And in some cases like Beach Boulevard, etc. But we also have some big staples in the area or South Jacksonville. We have Fort Family Park. They also have a lot of apartment complexes. This also runs into like the E-Town community in the area and just a lot of others, mostly like single family homes in this area. There's a couple of country clubs also in the area, or just more single family private gated, either man gated or gated communities in this area, but it is heavily trafficked, meaning just that there's a lot of individuals with, that live in the area or commuting to the area for work, etc. And so it kind of tends to get congested or a little bit busier. But what I've also noticed really recently is that Southside Boulevard has expanded their roadways, which is nice. They've created some better plans for traffic, especially in those peak hours of traffic time in the morning and in the afternoons. So that has been really nice, just kind of watching them expand the roadways there to make traffic a little bit more bearable. And that's really, I want to say, let's dig in a little bit here. So this is one of the other roadways that are really key to Southside. You would also identify Bay Meadows to be part of the area, or Deerwood, Gate Parkway, because you would get like to the town center that way. Or there's also other communities that are off of this road as well. When you start taking some of the back roads, and even like Bay Meadows Road East, like once you get off here and then go around this way, it loops you kind of just back around, but it just gives you some other forms of traveling or commuting outside of the main highways, like 295. But 295, also formerly known as 9B, or maybe it's known as 9B now. Excuse me, I know somebody's gonna come for me in the comments. Yes, it is known to be 9B now, but I still identify it as 295 primarily, but it runs into or forms into 9B, and that takes you more into the Bartram Park area. Then you'll be heading further south. But also, as we dig deeper into the south side or Southside Boulevard, you have things, this is like a really big shopping area here, just along this is the Avenues Mall, but there's a lot of there's like a Target outside of like the Home Depot here, those furniture stores, I can't think of them off the top of my head, but there are Home Goods, that's what it is. So Home Goods, you have Academy there as well, but like I mentioned, there are quite a few apartment communities off of this main road, Southside Boulevard, and then you'll have other, restaurants along here. I know there's a Five Guys, Chick-fil-A, Starbucks over there. We also have this Urban Air Trampoline Park, and there's also a Best Buy right next door to it. And then of course the Avenues Mall. I'm not for sure if there's anything still happening at the Avenues Mall. Let me know if there's anything happening there, because just like formerly known as Regency Mall, that has closed, and I know a lot of people are moving to either online or maybe potentially towards the town center, or maybe unfortunately they have gone out of business because of things happening with the economy, etc. So also back over here, there are a lot of businesses in this area. Like it's basically like a big old business park with just different businesses. You think of it like it's there. And over here we have Main Event. This is a really cool little hangout place in Jacksonville that you can go to for bowling. You can eat there, and they have like the games and things like that, arcade games there for kids as well. There's also some other businesses. Sometimes they've changed over the years on like what's going over here. Like there used to be like a lighting place. I remember there being like a rug store, and then like a mattress place, I believe, even at one time, like in this area here where all these shops are. But also right over here, there's a Walmart, and then I want to say it is in this area, there's also a Navy Federal Credit Union, and also Chuck E. Cheese. Yep, it's right there, Chuck E. Cheese. So, and then there's the bank there as well. So this is just like you would go over like a big hill right here, and then you would land here at the Walmart and Chuck E. Cheese and things. And this is actually one of the nicer Chuck E. Cheeses that are in Jacksonville. I don't know if the one in Regency has that's closed. And then I don't go to Orange Park quite as often to like their Chuck E. Cheese, because obviously like I live on this side of town, so I would maybe go to this one if I had to. So also some other things to keep in mind in this area is that there are a lot of car dealerships also along this area. Like I mentioned, this would basically be, this is considered US 1, but basically Phillips Highway turns into US 1, and you're going to be, you know, encountering like a lot of the car dealerships in this area. And then you can always get back onto the main highway right here, which is 9B. There's also Bravos, which is another place to hang out and go take your kids or your family, or if you just want to go have fun. This is another place that you can visit here in Jacksonville. We kind of go through these spurts in Jacksonville with one type of business. So for example, when everyone was doing like the trampoline parks and the jump parks, like a lot of those were opening up all at the same time. And then like right now we're going, I think we like with food, we've been going through like this taco phase with like so many different taco spots opening up. And then yeah, so it's just like a whole thing in here, and it's like a trend, so so to speak. But and maybe a little bit further than where we were just talking about in regards to Southside, but I just kind of wanted to give you like almost like a full tour of like, okay, what's happening here, what's on the other side of the Southside, like when we go further south. But some other things to consider too is there's Celebration Church here. This is where like the E-Town community is also located right here off of 295. Celebration Church is really nice. I've attended there myself a few times, and it's a really nice service and nice just community. You could really feel the church move. And then also there's Atlantic Coast High School here as well. And then there's another real estate community or development here. So yeah, but that is kind of the gist of what's happening in the area. Also Bay Meadows this way has some really like, it's a little, this I would say like this is more like old Bay Meadows, right? This would be where, you know, it's a lot more established and, you know, homes with maybe a little bit more character. You'd find newer homes and things in this area, but along here you would start running into like the homes that are just more established and with more character. You'd probably see like a lot more brick homes, or like over here these may be a little bit newer but not as new as like the homes over here in E-Town. So that's kind of just a good idea or gist of the area. And then you're really in close proximity if you're just right in this area in general. Again, another like right here, Flight Adventure Park, another trampoline place for you to take your kids and hang out. But just right over here we have the town center, and then we also have the University of North Florida. Swoop. So shout out to all the alumni from UNF. But here you're in close proximity to the town center and all the things there. You have Costco here as well, and then you have like things like iFly and Floor and Decor, and you have like some hotels and apartments also located in on the outer parts of the town center area, and also more apartments within the community, but then they'll lead right out here to throughout Gate Parkway. And then this would be considered the 202 but JTB, and this would get you to the other end of Jacksonville, or to get you like to the middle part before you decide if you need to hit 95 north or south, or if you need to hit like Phillips Highway and go to anything in these areas, or head north and go like downtown. So that is the gist of the Southside area for the map portion of this video. I am going to now take you over to look at some of the beautiful homes in the area. So like I mentioned, we just looked at the map. We can see like all the things happening and going on. Now let's zoom on in to the south side. So you can obviously see like, yes, this is considered south side, but a lot of the homes are really located right here off of 295 and then along Bay Meadows and then off of like Southside Boulevard. And like I mentioned, a lot of apartment complexes, but of course we're going to be focused on the homes that are for sale in the area, so you can have a better idea of what that looks like for you. So you're looking at homes primarily starting in, I would say, the 500s. You're looking at an average price point to be in like the 550s price point for homes. You will definitely be sacrificing square footage for your home if you're not in that price point. You're looking at maybe a little over 2,500 square feet and maybe even less, just depending probably on neighborhood most likely. But you can see also some of the homes that have been on the market, what they're offering. So we, like I mentioned, we have a mix of like condos and single family here in addition to those other forms of housing. But if you're looking for a 3-2 in this neighborhood. This home is 2,184 square feet, and this actually shows very nicely. They have done some nice upgrades and finishes to the property. They have really great furniture in here, but this is a 3-2 and it's right over 2,000 square feet, and it was built in 2022. There's an HOA here, but it is on the market still. So that's something to think about or consider for that particular home. And I am curious. They have 3D tours, additional photos. It has been on the market for 44 days. That's what I wanted to double check. So 44 days on market at that price point. Here's also more of like condo style homes. This is in Belle Reve. This is a really nice community. It's very private because not a lot of people come back in there, but I have sold other homes in this community, and it really just depends on what building you're in and if the current or previous owner has updated the home. So like I've seen some of the people in, like for example, the kitchen, like they've removed this out and just made it more open and things. So you could do a lot, or even just updating some of the appliances in the home can just make a huge difference, of course. But that is a 1-bedroom, 1-bath in Belle Reve. That is the name of that community, and that's located right off of Southside Boulevard. And that's a little bit closer to the Avenues Mall as well, but it's like tucked away a little bit, so you're not like on the direct road. But I know in previous years they've had newer developments also in the area, so just to give you a little idea on that. And then let's find some other ones. Here's a home priced at $925. This is a 5-bedroom, 5-bath, over 3,500 square feet. It has water views. Looks like it has some updates to it, and this was built in 2004. So, and I believe this also has a pool. Let's double check. I saw salt water listed. It looks like a tad dated. That's like a no-no. Yeah, so they do have a pool here, and let's see how long this has been on the market. We're getting ads. 57 days, so roughly around that 44 to 57 day mark so far on homes in this area. Let's check out this one. This one's been catching my eye. This one's on the market. It's priced at $340. It's 4-bed, 2-bath, over 2,000 square feet. So this is definitely below like the median home price, but you can see all of the work that potentially needs to be done to the home. It is quote unquote move-in ready from what it looks like. However, you know, the modern day buyer is going to want, you know, popcorn ceiling removed, or just this whole thing moved, updated kitchen, matching appliances, you know, potentially even some, you know, updated flooring, because this looks like there's been some damage to it, potentially some water or something like that going on here that I can just observe in the photos. You know, they would definitely have to paint, things like that. So, and then obviously updating the bathrooms. Let's see how long this has been on the market. I think it said 225 days. So this one's definitely an outlier when it comes to homes in this zip code. So most homes that I've been clicking on have been on the market only between 44 and a little over 50 days, approaching 60 days. So this is one of the country clubs. This community, Deerwood Club, is also located right near Jacksonville Country Day. And that's a really nice school that I've heard of, and my kids have attended, or a couple of my kids have attended summer camp there. So they have really good summer camp programs there as well that I would highly encourage you to check out if you have little ones and are in need of summer camps. They do tend to fill up pretty quickly, and yeah, so definitely check that out. So Deerwood Club, this community is man-gated, so that's nice, and they have multiple entrances that are man-gated by a physical guard, and that's always really nice. All of the homes for probably like 99% of the time are well manicured and just looks like a country club. They have different fees. You can join the club. I think it may be a requirement for you to be a part of the club. Not 100% for sure on that, but that's something we can explore if you're looking into moving into this community. I have found some of the homes when I was showing buyers in this area is that some of the homes will need potentially some updating to the interior of the home, of course, because these homes are a little bit older than like the E-Town homes, which are like built within the last 2-3 years. So just something to keep in mind. But this home has been on the market for 72 days because you would have to be a specific type of customer that, and you can see built in 1973. So this one, let's just take a peek. For fun, this one looks really cute on the exterior, and they have updated on the interior, but you know, everyone has their own decorating style and what they'd like to have in the home, but they have made some updates into the home because some of the ones that I've seen still have like carpet and just things like that. Like I even like that they've updated the treads on the stairway here and the upstairs as well. So it just depends on if you want to be in a country club or not, and if you want to pay those additional fees to be in a home. You're already at $850,000, you know, for the asking price, and then you're thinking about country club fees, HOA fees, CDD fees. That could be a deal breaker for you, but that's why I'm here to help you find your home sweet home here in Jacksonville in Northeast Florida. Ooh, this one's cute. Let's look at this one. This one caught my eye. This one's very modern. They just recently had a price cut. 4-bed, 4-bath, right over 4,000 square feet. Let's see. It's on a little over a half an acre, built in 1983. So they've definitely made some updates to this particular home. And then this one is also located in the Deerwood Country Club community. So you can just see they've done a lot of math for us. This has been on the market for 89 days. So it looks like the ones that are in the gated communities are having a little bit, or having longer days on market within the community. So that's just something to consider. But let's check out the photos. Let's check out like this style of home, because this is definitely unique and different from all of the other homes that we've clicked on and looked at today. So you can see like their before and afters, which are really nice. I like that they've brought it into 2024 going into the future with the LED lighting. Exterior looks really cute. I love that they've modernized the stairway, the open railing. This is so beautiful. Beautifully done to the sellers. Love the blue. Blue was a trending color, I believe, for 2023, and I believe I still see blue, but I think green is the color of the year for 2024. So love that, and I love all the gold. I don't know about you, but I'm a gold girly, if you can't tell. So they did a really nice job updating this home. Really nice job. But obviously you get what you pay for. You're going to be living in a beautiful community. It's going to be gated. You'll be literally in central of Jacksonville, which is also another benefit. Like you're a hop, skip, and a jump right over to the St. John's Town Center, to all of the major highways from JTB, 295, 95, all of the dining experiences for the most part that are, you know, in close proximity, you'll have access to in Tinseltown, the Avenues Mall. If you have kids, the, you know, entertainment from bowling to trampoline parks in the area. Nothing will be too far of a drive for you. You may have a little bit more congestion with traffic in the mornings and the afternoons, but outside of that, like this would be a great area to live in. And then let's talk about other end of the Southside area, because this area is right off of Phillips Highway, and with that you're also encroaching like part of Southside. As you can see, according to Zillow, also some of Nocatee is in Duval County, and then you also have like the Bartram area, like just right over on this side, we have Bartram Springs, which is also another really well-known community in the Jacksonville area. It's very family friendly, to say the least, but you're like on the line, you know what I mean, for Southside, or to be considered part of Bartram, or, you know, Southside, or you're like Duval County, you're going to be zoned for Duval County, or you're going to be zoned for St. Johns County. So it's literally like that close, you know what I mean? And like, let's zoom in a little bit so we can see. But there, like I mentioned, Phillips Highway has a lot of, it's still very underdeveloped, but it is growing. I've seen newer gas stations put in the area, which are very smart and strategic. But then we have things like different restaurants, like I think it's Canopy Road Cafe. That's a favorite of mine. It is a very small cafe, so you do have to get there very early to get their delicious treats and desserts there. But you have homes. I've sold a home in one of the newer KB communities off of this road that finished maybe a year or two ago, but they're still building. And then they have like apartment complexes and things like that also in the area that are like in front of the community and things. So Southside is pretty spread out and big, but what part of Jacksonville really isn't? It is nice to know that, like, okay, you could have the 32256 zip code in just a wide range of areas. Like you could literally be in Nocatee, or you could still be like down here on the lower end of Southside, or you could be up here towards Fort Family Park and Bay Meadows Road, or like literally in Deerwood. So all of these areas and sub communities make up the zip code 32256. Now, if you have any questions about any of these areas, or if I missed out any important details and you want to, check me, I appreciate that. Drop your comments in the comment section, and I'd love to hear from you, especially if you've made it this far into the video. This is literally like 30 minutes in, so I appreciate you taking your time to learn about Southside Jacksonville with me. So if you've made it this far into the video, you're literally like 30 minutes into me talking about the Southside of Jacksonville, and I greatly appreciate you. If I missed anything regarding the south part of Jacksonville, please drop your comments below. I'd love to hear from you and love to learn more about Jacksonville with you. I feel like I have driven Southside Boulevard and 295, 9B, and JTB quite frequently, in addition to Phillips Highway, because I go to Nocatee a lot. So my name is Yasha Wells, your favorite Jacksonville realtor. If you are thinking about moving to the Jacksonville area, please book a discovery call with me. I love to meet you and hear from you and learn more about what your needs are. I recently helped a client who booked a discovery call with me actually find an apartment here in Jacksonville, and they actually bought in this, or not bought, they rented in this zip code. They're moving and relocating here from, I want to say, Louisiana. So they booked a discovery call with me, and I was able to get them connected to a property manager who has multiple properties within an apartment complex based on their needs right here in this zip code. And if you're looking to do the same or looking to buy a home here, please feel free to reach out to me and I would be happy to help you. So thank you again for tuning in, and I can't wait to see you on the next video. Bye.